Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. The FBI will neither confirm nor deny the existence of Satoshi records. Very funny considering we've already got, an FBI agent or a CIA agent basically saying that they did meet with Satoshi and that it was a group of people, 4 individuals, I believe. If you guys didn't catch the video I did that a few years ago. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner for you guys. An investigative journalist, though, reported that the FBI issued a standard GLOMAR response to a request for information on Satoshi Nakamoto, but with an interesting assertion. The FBI has reportedly responded to a Freedom of Information Act, or a FOIA request from a journalist, implying that Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto was a third-party individual for whom it could neither confirm nor deny it had records. According to an August 13th X post by investigative journalist Dave Troy, the FBI issued a GLOMAR response to his request for information on Satoshi, neither confirming nor denying the law enforcement agency had these records. Troy said that he intended to appeal the FOIA response, but claimed the FBI had made an interesting assertion by implying Satoshi was a third-party individual. This is what he said. Okay, I submitted as a broad general subject request with full context, so it is the Bureau, and it is not me that is asserting that this is an individual, said Troy. My intent is not to establish the identity behind the pseudonym, but rather to get what info the Bureau may have on the subject. If that helps establish identity somehow, fine, but that's not my primary question. So basically, the FBI giving him the runaround since the release of Bitcoin's white paper in 2008. Many have been speculating on Satoshi's true identity, and if you guys didn't catch that video, I do suggest you watch the one that I did just post in the top right-hand corner, because there is a lot to point to the fact that Satoshi Nakamoto is not just one person, but a group of people, and we've even kind of uncovered some of Satoshi's identity, some potential people who could, in fact, be attributed to Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. So very interesting, though, that now we're getting this, that the fact that the FBI not giving him any information, basically giving him the runaround here, neither confirming nor denying that they have records on Satoshi Nakamoto, which essentially means that they do. I mean, let's be honest here. Things that make you go, for sure. The conspiracies run deep, I gotta say. The US government really trying to tamp down what crypto has become. And based on the conversations that Eleanor Turret has had with Democrats in the industry and government, she says regarding the Harris crypto reset, it seems that her campaign staff have been putting in the legwork with meetings, but there's only so much that can be said and done because no one actually knows what Kamala Harris herself is thinking about crypto policy. And the reason she says this is because there's no committing, there's no real soundbite from Kamala Harris regarding cryptocurrency specifically. Eleanor Turret continues by saying, meetings have been described to me as friendly, a positive first step, and her staff described as receptive but non-committal. There's a push this week from industry Dems to mobilize support for Harris, but it would be helpful for voters to get a clearer idea of her own thoughts on digital asset policy, especially given recent reporting on who she's planning to recruit as economic advisors. It would be awesome to see and hear from the VP during the Crypto for Harris town hall tomorrow. So I guess we will see what does happen. Therm here saying, why doesn't somebody just ask her? And Eleanor Turret saying she's not doing any media appearances right now. Chip saying, the VP is already in office, so it's time to prove she means business. It's simple. Begin by calling for Gary Gensler's resignation. Without action, it's just empty words. I could not agree more. Wendy O saying, we need actions. It's so close to the election. Either way, it's not a good look. And I agree. I mean, there are others here like Alex Thorne giving us new evidence that Kamala Harris will continue her crypto crackdown. So to support Eleanor Turret's theory there, her advisors' choices suggest she will keep Biden's hostile attitude to crypto. Harris is working with Brian Deese and Bharat Ramamurthy, 2 key anti-crypto officials from the Biden administration. So we've got confirmation of that. Here's what he says, though. Okay, we got some intel on the Harris campaign's current posture on economic policy and who they are working with from some Bloomberg business reporting this morning. Deese and Ramamurthy are 2 key architects of the Biden administration's anti-crypto crusade, including Choke Point 2.0. Deese famously wrote a blog on the White House website, the administration's roadmap to mitigating cryptocurrency risks, and this happened on January 27, 2023. The blog claims to support innovation, but casts the whole of the crypto policy through a fraud and risk mitigation lens. Exactly what it should not be cast through. Harris's advisor, Brian Deese's anti-crypto White House blog was published in January of 23. On that same day, guys, the Fed rejected Custodia Bank's membership, the master account application. The Fed extended January 3rd, 2023. There's more here. January 27th was a Friday, but when the Senate opened again on February 2nd, Senator Dick Durbin, Majority Whip number 2 Senate Dem, took to the floor to land-based firms like Fidelity for working with crypto firms. The White House blog, 2 key Fed denials, Fed guidance expanding this authority on crypto dramatically. So as you guys can see, there has not been any movement there. And if we're looking at these people as the people who are going to be surrounding Kamala Harris, well, that's just not looking good, right? Now to Bharat Ramamurthy, okay? He worked under Deese at the National Economic Council. The two probably met at Yale Law, where they overlapped in the 2000s, and they have extensive experience working for Senator Elizabeth Warren, of all people, the Senate's biggest crypto antagonist. So that is unfortunate, I gotta say. He worked in her Senate office and led economic policy for her presidential campaign. Let's continue, though. Fortune described Bharat as the White House's top crypto critic. Leo Schwartz reported that it was Ramamurthy who intervened to block stablecoin compromise between Patrick McHenry and Maxine Waters in July of 2023. Oh, and by the way, Bharat later left the White House and was replaced on the NEC by John Donenberg, yet another former Warren aide. Based on Harris's advisor choices, I would not be surprised to hear shortly that he too will advise the Harris-Walz campaign. Sad. Ha! I just added the ha there for emphasis. In April, this person here, Robert Kuttner, confirmed Leo's reporting, saying that it was specifically Deese and Ramamurthy who intervened to kill the stablecoin legislation. Keep in mind that this bill would have legalized but heavily regulated stablecoins, both with oversight, how they operate, and prudential, what collateralizes them powers. Regardless of what you think of such a bill, it would have undoubtedly brought stablecoins into the fold and added significant customer safety. So, these guys are just trying to, put out mini fires. I mean, they're considering cryptocurrency to be like a runaway flame that's turning into something bigger. Meanwhile, what they don't realize is that we need all this stuff. I mean, they don't care if they are in the pockets of the big banks. Obviously, they have a mandate there. Alex continues by saying, by the way, all well-known primary sticking points was that Republicans like Patrick McHenry wanted to preserve a state pathway for stablecoin issuer registration, meaning that the state chartered depository, a state bank, could be allowed to issue a stablecoin. And then he writes a little bit more on that. The irony of this, though, of course, is that on January 3rd, 2023, 7 months earlier, the Fed and the OCC and FDIC issued guidance effectively prohibiting national banks from doing anything with crypto. And on January 27th, 6 months earlier, extended that guidance to state banks. So when the Democrats changed their stablecoin negotiating position to only national banks under Fed oversight can issue stablecoins, at the urging of Deese and Bharat, it wasn't intellectually honest. So, guys, all these things are very important, and I'm glad he's done the research here for us to kind of really get a good idea, a good sense of what is happening. He continues by saying McHenry and the Republicans couldn't accept that position because they knew that leaving it up to a national banking regulator and Federal Reserve would ultimately prevent any legal stablecoins from being issued, negating the purpose of the bill itself. If Harris's campaign is really about the future, why are they backwards thinkers of the Biden administration advising her on economic policy? She would do well to instead listen to Democrats like Ro Khanna, Richie Torres, Wiley Nickel, Darren Soto, Senator Gillibrand, because there are Democrats. We got to remember there still are Democrats who do want progressive crypto policy. It's not all Democrats. So that makes me wonder, guys. People are policy at the end of the day. And if Brian Deese, Bharat Ramamurthy, Wally Amayo, and everyone else are set to lead economic policy in the Harris-Walz administration, it's very unlikely the administration will soften its stance on cryptocurrency. Caitlin Long talked about Bharat's influence beginning at 3245, and I will link this in the description if you guys want to listen to Caitlin Long talk about that. It is unfortunate. There are, progressive thinkers in the Senate, but unfortunately there are too many people who have been bought and paid for, because I couldn't imagine why anybody would make these excuses, why anybody would decide, okay, tamping crypto down, continuing with this negative narrative where crypto is for fraud and for money launderers and all that, how that is continuing. I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me unless they're being paid off. So that's really the only logical explanation. Anyway, wanted to thank Eleanor Turd and, of course, Alex Thorne for his insight there. So stablecoins, that is kind of the next major focus. Of course, we're still trading cryptocurrencies in a spec market. Institutions are doing the same. As a matter of fact, Goldman Sachs now holds over $400 million in Bitcoin ETFs specifically. So this is just one. You got to think, if this is just one major bank, you got to think of all the other financial institutions and what they hold in terms of Bitcoin ETFs. The investment bank says it holds over 400 million in Bitcoin ETFs, according to a recent filed 13F. Goldman Sachs holds these positions in ETFs. Of course, the investment bank in its quarterly 13F report disclosed that it holds positions in 7 out of the 11 BTC ETFs in the United States. Its largest holding is the iShares, the iBit Trust, at 238.6 million, followed by Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF at 79.5 million, then 56.1 million of Investo Galaxy's Bitcoin Trust, 35.1 in Grayscale, and then it holds smaller positions in BITB, BTCW, and ARCB. BTC ETF flows continue in the green during the U.S. Tuesday trading day, with 4.39 million in trading inflows recorded, according to SoSo Value. During CoinDesk's Consensus 2024 festival in Austin, Matthew McDermott, the bank's global head of digital assets, said the Bitcoin ETFs were a big psychological turning point for the industry. And I got to reiterate, this is what's going to get institutional investors. I mean, it's already gotten institutional investors in. The fact that we topped, guys, this, I don't think you understand how important this is. The fact that that we topped here, okay, we made it up to all-time high in and around that same point that we did see the Bitcoin halving right and around here. That is significant. We have never seen that in the past. Usually what happens is Bitcoin does halve, then the price rallies to all-time high. We see a bit more of a reaccumulation, then it shoots right up. So in this cycle, we're seeing it move a little differently. Nevertheless, guys, this is giving confidence to institutional investors. The Bitcoin ETF obviously has been an astonishing success, says McDermott. Well, I mean, even we can see it just from Goldman Sachs' numbers here. Institutions like ours actually see the potential in how it can transform where parts of the financial system can operate in a much more efficient way. Previously, Goldman Sachs has said that its clients were not interested in crypto. Boy, what a 180, right? We do not think that this is an investment asset class. Sharman Mosavar Ramani, Chief Investment Officer of the Bank Wealth Management Unit, told the Wall Street Journal back in April, "We are not believers in crypto." Well, look who's come crawling back. Bitcoin holders are also stacking sats as price hovers above $60,000. Guys, this is more information just coming from Glassnode. Just wanted to kind of reiterate a little bit more about this because it is all coming to a head. I mean, we look at Bitcoin price here. It is fairly bullish as of the time of this recording. We are already seeing a Bitcoin. Here, let me get rid of some of that here. We're already seeing a Bitcoin up a little bit today at about 61,500 per coin. So after a very volatile week last week, we are seeing the Bitcoin price expand and move to the upside. And guys, this is what's eventually going to get the altcoins rallying. So Bitcoin statistics are what are important at the moment. Well, the market continues to digest Bitcoin's descent, okay, last week to $49,000. I know it was only a week ago. And only a week before that, it was up to 70,000, if you guys remember. Bitcoin has faced several headwinds in August, including geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, recessionary fears in the US, uncertainty around the Japanese yen, and a general risk-off mood felt mostly sharply at the beginning of the month. Here's a quote: "Investors remain cautious ahead of the US CPI this week," QCP Capital wrote in a short investor note on Tuesday. They will closely watch inflation numbers for guidance on whether the Fed will cut rates by 50 or 25 basis points in September. The odds are now evenly split. While tensions have eased somewhat among investors across broader markets, with major indices seeing a broad uplift on Tuesday, Bitcoin and crypto prices continue to linger, and that's what we're seeing right now. Last week's activity sent shockwaves across all markets, but the accumulation trend score, an on-chain metric assessing the gradual acquisition of assets by users, has hit its highest value above the score of 1 guy, suggesting significant activity over the past month. The shift towards holding is further supported by data showing that long-term holders who had previously sold during the price peak in March are now increasing their Bitcoin holdings. So what that is saying is, the people who did sell all the way up here, boom, at $73,000, $72,000, $73,000 per coin, whatever it is, they have now taken this opportunity and are accumulating down and around here, 55, 56, 57. So making a bit of profit there off that 20 to 30% correction. And this just bodes well for the entire crypto market. Over the last 3 months, more than 374,000 Bitcoin have been transitioned into long-term holding positions, okay? Think about that for a second. People are still very, very bullish on Bitcoin. And these are investors that I'm sure have, some level of sophistication there. I don't think the majority of retail is investing in crypto at this moment. From this, though, we can infer that the propensity for investors to hold onto their coins is now a larger force relative to their spending pressures, says Glassnode. Despite the recent heavy selling last week, Bitcoin's price is still above what most active investors paid for their coins on average. The level is supposedly a critical threshold separating bullish from bearish sentiment. So guys, all very positive news. We are definitely moving in the right direction. If you guys have not accumulated yet, you might want to think about accumulating, whether it's Bitcoin or altcoins. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel to see what I have accumulated thus far. I have the $15,000 plus portfolio open for all to see. So you can see all 18, I think it was 18 cryptocurrencies there. I also talk about my legacy portfolio. You can find all that at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And of course, guys, there's XRP moving into a potential real-world utility transition from a speculative cryptocurrency to who knows what's going to happen in 2025, maybe moving into a more real-world use case. I mean, with the regulations coming down the pike and more cooperation through Ripple-related companies, Ripple-partnered companies like Currency Cloud. MetaPrise, guys, a leading financial management solution, has announced that they will use Ripple-partner Currency Cloud, a Visa solution, to promote global growth opportunities for U.S.-registered e-commerce businesses. So this is just some more news with regards to this particular Ripple partner. E-commerce businesses often encounter significant challenges when conducting operations internationally. These challenges can arise in various aspects of financial operations, such as collecting payments from marketplaces or customers, paying vendors, or managing bills. Issues frequently include navigating different currencies, handling exchange rate fluctuations, complying with diverse regulatory requirements, and dealing with varying banking and payment systems. All things where the XRPL can be used as a solution. These complexities can lead to delays, increased costs, and a risk of high error rates and fraud. But Currency Cloud's platform, guys, will help MetaPrise to address these challenges and provide its customers with the ability to collect payments in up to 33 available currencies through virtual themed accounts and conduct transactions in over 180 countries. This will help simplify cross-border payment transactions, enhance the efficiency and security of financial operations, and allow businesses to focus on global growth opportunities. So amazing, simply amazing what these companies are doing here. Here's a quote: MetaPrise is committed to solving the critical challenges that businesses face in managing their financial operations. This coming from Richard Wang, CEO at MetaPrise. With Currency Cloud solution, we're working to address the pain points that many businesses encounter in their payment processes. Our goal is to provide a streamlined and secure platform that seeks to simplify payments, streamline financial operations, and empower businesses to thrive in today's fast-paced economy. So it seems like everybody wants to do better. In this case, a Ripple partner here, a Visa solution. So Visa, Ripple-enabled solution through Earthport, working with Currency Cloud, and now Currency Cloud obviously working with MetaPrise. So guys, we're just seeing more and more solutions leveraged over the XRP ledger, a boon for those people holding utility coins. Of course, Bitcoin is going to help get us off the ground there. We're already seeing the institutions load up on Bitcoin. That is going to cause, hopefully that's going to cause the explosion that we need for the altcoin market to really rally. And I mean, the theory goes as such. I mean, this is just one hypothesis. The altcoin market's going to rally, the same way it does in any kind of spec run. If you've been here for one, you kind of know what to expect. But then if we have the regulatory clarity, like for example, the stablecoin regulations in the US, what that could trigger is mass adoption of something like the RLUSD. And if we do see large quantities of RLUSD being transferred over the XRP ledger, guys, that could in fact boost XRP adoption, boost XRP demand, because we're going to need that native cryptocurrency on the XRPL to move all that USD. So it got me excited when I happened to see this, courtesy of Zoom at Mr_Zoom here on Twitter. Ripple testing $10 quadrillion on the XRPL? Are they really? He retweeted out CrackerDB here on Twitter. Ripple testing $10 quadrillion in RLUSD. Okay, so not in XRP, but RLUSD on the XRPL, preparing cross-galaxy payments. Amazing, simply amazing. Check this out here. 999,999,999,999,999 RLUSD. I mean, is this real? Dr. Archer here saying false, no value has been transferred. So I wanted to look into this further. I wanted to take a look at that number here, guys. If you do go to the scan here, I think somebody did say, yeah, you can find the link here. It says Alfendi-San here. And you go to XRP scan, you guys can find that transaction right here. Okay, the RLUSD, okay, that's the issuer. And you can see here the trust line. And that is the transaction there. Almost 10 quadrillion RLUSD. Maybe it's a test. I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is if somebody is trying to transfer this kind of money, this is for an institutional grade transaction. Definitely nobody's transferring $10 quadrillion at the retail level. And when you click on the actual transaction itself, you guys can see it here. Trust set type moving out of escrow. The trust set $9.9 quadrillion in RLUSD, guys. So is Ripple testing for future use cases, leveraging the RLUSD? Of course, that's going to need to be transferred through an XRP medium. And if Ripple is testing $10 quadrillion, not accounting for the other 8 use cases, and needing to last 50 to 100 years, okay, he's taking everything into consideration here. That alone would send XRP above $10,000 per coin. There's no longer a 100 million total supply in circulating, and it's slightly more than 1/2. So it's easy to be bullish, guys. What's Ripple's native asset? Of course, it's XRP. He also goes on to say, once this gets moving, market cap will become irrelevant. Think about that, guys. With the XRP moving through the system, the market cap, this won't even mean anything anymore. It's going to be the amount of XRP that is needed to facilitate these transfers. And if the price is too low, there just won't be enough. So the demand will go up, meaning the price of XRP should go up to, I don't know how quickly it will get to $10,000, but that certainly is a possibility. Again, guys, just look at that number, 10 quadrillion, definitely not a retail transaction. Also considering that the RLUSD has not even been released yet, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.